it's effectiveness, and it's that jab, B-Hop.
That jab is stiff. We call it the shotgun jab back in Philly. You know, snaps your head back, get you off balance, make your neck hurt. I mean, he's throwing that jab so effectively, you know, Ruiz just got to sit and pause and then come in. And that's what you got to do. And then you can get those setup shots in there, those 3 or 4 punch combinations. But I like to see him pump that jab, that shotgun jab, constantly. Let that thing go. Let it go when you can, and he can set something up.
Nice 1-2 combination from De La Hoya, who steps in and then moves out. He still looks very fresh through these first 5 rounds, B-Hop. And we've talked about the toughness of Ruiz, who's never been stopped as a pro. Neither fighter has ever been down in their respective professional careers. So you can see that toughness in both guys. De La Hoya got a little bit of pretty boy in him, but not when it comes to fighting.
No, but he got some style. But, you know, when it comes to fighting, you know, when you got to defend yourself, that pretty stuff go out the window. And Ruiz is just coming forward, you know, and he looked just as fresh too. Both guys been throwing a lot of leather, as, you know, the copy box will show. And they still got enough strength and energy to still come forward.
We're getting to the midway point of this fight where De La Hoya's corner is extremely happy with the work he's putting in so far against the very game. Eric, listen for the bell.
Sunday Night Baseball, Rangers, Tigers, at 8 on ESPN.
To the untrained, it appears as chaos. But here, there is only mastery. A creation so complex, only few can reveal it. Through mastery comes harmony. Hennessy VSOP privilege. Never stop. Never settle.
This is the beautiful Casino del Sol established by the Yaqui Pascua tribe. Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN is presented by Tecate, born bold. It's so nice outside, B-Hop. We decided to send out the drone for these beautiful panoramic shots. Look at how you want to go out there. And Diego De La Hoya and his opponent, Eric Ruiz, really just standing in the center of the ring. It's the toughness of Ruiz against the boxing skill and finesse of Diego De La Hoya here as we get into the second half. What adjustments have you seen from De La Hoya that really make him so effective?
I see the adjustments that he makes is just making this guy really not do too much. And that is Ruiz. Ruiz right now is really now, in this round, which he wasn't doing the last couple of rounds, is really trying to like force his punches on De La Hoya. And when I see the adjustments that De La Hoya is making, I spoke about it earlier, is that now he's boxing a little bit, and then he's right there in front of him, but he's not there to get hit. Just the ring generalship. When you see the ring generalship, the side, the left, doing different things in the ring in one fight, it's really impressive. I'm not overhyping it, I'm just letting people understand. When you see the growth in a young fighter like this, who has a lot on his shoulders to overcome and accomplish, when I see things like that, the subtle things are important.
You know, Eric Ruiz started his career 13-1, but he's 4-5-1 in his last 10 fights. And we asked him about it. He said, man, I've been fighting tough fighters on short notice. And when you look at who he's lost to, it's current world champion Jesse Magdaleno, world title challenger Manuel Tino Avila, former world titlist Rico Ramos. They all have about an 88% facing slouches. Now you add in a prospect.
Head off down and show that it wasn't tomato cans in some store shelves. He fought people that we know, that boxing know, credible people. And that's experience he brings to the table for De La Hoya to show his skills. So this is what makes not only a prospect, but it makes a fighter that grows into not only the public eye of boxing, and also grow into his own insurance that he's there, that he's grown, that he's ready to go. forward into the next step. That's what's going to come.
I'm impressed by De La Hoya's footwork. I think his defense is improving fight out. As then he gets tagged by a nice right hand from Ruiz and then an uppercut. So it's the announcer's jinx, as typically happens in any sport. But then he comes back a nice one too.
Well, it wasn't his dreams. He let his hands down. He got too relaxed. He was jumping around and not throwing a punch. He must throw punches when he moves, at least to offset Ruiz.
In other words, don't give myself any credit. He made the mistakes and he paid for it inside the ring.
Absolutely.
A la campana. Cut.
To the friends who never back out. The ones who say hell yeah to happy hour. Always up for another round. TGI Fridays gives you endless abs. Forever. Always endless abs. $10.
Search for a really strong glue that's clear.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Clear glue. Clear Gorilla Glue.
Of course. Gorilla Glue strength in a crystal clear formula for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
You gorilla tape that? No, why? Gorilla tape. Of course.
Gorilla Tape is 3 times stronger for a hold that lasts. For the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
The cordless revolution has arrived. With 40 volts of raw lithium force, Ryobi is pushing the limits with unrelenting power that will outlast your yard on one charge. Surrender nothing but gas. The Ryobi mode, part of the 40-volt system, now just $2.99.
Well, Diaz was telling his charge, Diego de la Hoya, you're doing great work out there. Keep establishing the jab. You're looking really good, but stay aware. I don't want him to land that uppercut one more time. So keep moving, keep yourself alert.
I think De La Hoya should be throwing an uppercut because, Reese is coming in, he leans forward a little bit, balance is leaning to the up front. And when the guy leans up front and the balance is there, you can't get out of the way to punch. You can't get out of the way to an uppercut, a slip jab, or a right hand. So I like to see De La Hoya now throw that jab, but also put that uppercut every now and then like he just did from a side angle and do it more often and do it effectively going forward, either left or right.
Well, shoe shine combination there from Diego de la Hoya. Ruiz tries to respond with a left, but the young De La Hoya is nowhere to be found. De La Hoya really mentioned the fact that he was a soccer player. He used to practice kung fu as a youngster, and one day he was so exhausted because he was also boxing that his dad said, you've got to make a choice. And when his stop process was going through, De La Hoya said, I realized that my dad had never been to any of my soccer games, but he and my family went to every one of my amateur fights. So I said, man, it's a boxing family. I got to do this.
He said definitely in his DNA, and he's not embarrassing nobody over there at the De La Hoya side family.
And really, you can tell the pedigree. A grandfather, Mr. Vicente, an uncle in Joel Sr., and his cousin, Oscar De La Hoya, really made a name in the sport of boxing. Now, Joel De La Hoya Jr. is his manager as well. So it's really a family affair that we're seeing with the De La Hoyas. And so far, he's making the name proud.
Yeah, he has to be himself and not his cousin. He has to be himself because they are big shoes to fill. And like he said this, he wants to build his own way and legacy. And this is the night he wants to get people following him every time he fights, because this is what you have to do. You have to establish your own legacy by doing things special in boxing.
And B-Hop, we just saw how the weight of the last name Chavez really weighed on Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Canelo Alvarez throughout his career. And Diego de la Hoya said, I'm used to this since the amateurs as he lands a beautiful right hand. He said, people told me that I won fights because of my last name. I mean, the kid has a 239-11 record in 250 amateur fights, so he's doing something right.
He's doing something right. That's what I would tell my son, better be a banker or a teacher. Too much pressure.
De La Hoya said, I don't want my kid to be a fighter. I don't want him to sacrifice like I have and get hit. And I couldn't handle it. My kid was no good at this sport.
It's tough.
It sure is. A lot better ways to make a living like announcing, B-Hop.
Canelo, be bold. Hey, Be bold. But there. Hey,
Be bolded.
Tecate Light, born bold.
Luego lo vuelves a cambiar.
This is the Hennessy corner
Y luego
camp.
cambiar, acuérdate.
Never stop,
Tienes que
never
cambiarte
settle.
inteligente, ¿eh?
Joel Diaz with the
Si te le quedas
instructions from
bajito,
Diego de
güey,
la
con la
Hoya.
defensa
If you
cerradita,
stay low
si la
with the
defensa adentro no
tight
hace nada,
guard, he's
¿ves?
not going to do
Pero
anything
tienes que
to
tener tu
you.
defensa
But
pegadita
you got to have
y
a tight
contragolpearlo al
defense and then
cuerpo,
counter
meterle los
punch him to the
sopes.
body. Nice uppercuts
Él nomás lo
too.
haces caer corto y se pierde.
You make him
¿Ven?
go short
¿Cómo
and he
andas?
gets lost, man.
¿Ven?
How are
Okay.
you doing? I'm all right.
Vamos para el 8, ¿ah?
We're going to round 8.
Vamos, hijo, ¿eh? Vamos.
Let's go. That was Joel Diaz with Diego de la Hoya. Another corner, we've got Marco Contreras and Robert Garcia working in the corner of Osnard's. Eric Ruiz, he trains at the gym where Vasily Lomachenko and Sergey Kovalev train. Vigis Klimas now owns the former Robert Garcia Boxing Academy. So Ruiz says there's a lot to pick up from all those great fighters.
And one of them is toughness.
Yes.
Because he sure enough got that. And you know, when you're around that type of energy and that type of knowledge, I mean, you gotta learn something, Bernardo. You gotta learn something. You gotta pick. You gotta rub something. Gotta rub up off on you. Rub off on you really, really quickly because you're in the mix of all that greatness.
Wow, you can just see the speed of Diego de la Hoya throwing some flashy combinations in here. Maybe not as effective as when he throws his power punches, but there he gets caught with a nice lead
Because
by
he
Ruiz.
was admiring his work.
Yep.
He was admiring his work because he did a 3-4 punch combination. Everything was on point, and then he stopped for a second and got hit. And again, this is learning. This is the learning process. You know, you don't admire your work. You hit the guy, you continue to hit him until he can't hit you.
And you can't get complacent. De La Hoya said, I understand one punch can change everything. And speaking of punches, let's take a look at the numbers where De La Hoya through the first 7 rounds has almost doubled the landed punch output of his opponent, Eric Ruiz, and the 33% accuracy compared to 24%. Those are good numbers when you can have at least a +9 in the percentage category. Means you're doing things right. You can see the speed, accuracy, just the flashiness of De La Hoya.
And I want to see that more often. I mean, I want to see it because he can get away with it because Ruiz is much slower in his feet movement and also in this response to counter. So I would like to see De La Hoya throw a little bit more of those punches, combinations like that, and where he can go ahead and really dictate every second of this fight and just move to the left and move to the right as he do now. Ring generalship, we talked about it earlier. He has that. It's natural to him.
The judges really take into account when you make your opponent fight your fight. There's no doubt that by stalking him with a lot of ineffective movement, Eric Ruiz is fighting the fight that Diego de la Hoya is dictating
Let him out, stop.
through 8 rounds.
And it's a perfect way, Bernardo, to control your fighter. You can control Ruiz with his feet. Basically have him go where he wants him to go and then fire and then go the opposite way and make him constantly chase them, a dog with a bone, and have him going where he wants him to go.
So punches that don't do a lot of damage from De La Hoya, they look really good. A little bit of flash and just a smirk on the face of Eric Ruiz, who says, I've been here, I've done this before. Just waiting to land that one shot.
Listen for the bell.
Yo estoy listo para cualquier rival. Yo no lo rehuyo a nadie y estoy listo aquí para cualquiera.
You had to be brave to do this.
Are you not entertained?
Billfinger was Batman's secret identity.
We're in New York now. Let us dress as New Yorkers.
Plans starting at $7.99 a month. Hulu, come TV with us.
This is the ballroom at the Casino del Sol. We've had a great time, B-Hop, in our stay here in Tucson, Arizona, and we will be back on Saturday,
There you go.
July
That's it.
29. Golden Boy Boxing
There you
on
go. That's it right there.
ESPN,
Work.
presented by
There you go.
Tecate
Come on,
Show.
Red. What the
I
fuck?
can't wait to come back here when it's really hot outside and the action is even hotter, like we're seeing right now with De La Hoya putting on a nice combination on Ruiz.
That's the beautiful part about seeing a talent really blossom right in front of us. To see those 3, 4, 5 punch combinations and then step to the side. I mean, we know he have it. Use it more and set it up. We're looking at something really special, but I'm trusting the process, Bernardo, to watch him elevate and watch him grow. And this is really a fight that really take him to really the next step up. I'm not saying leap, the next step up to another tougher, another smarter guy to represent.
22 years old in his and against Anders. Out. Nice left hook to the body there from Diego, as the referee says. A little bit low there.
It's really now try to just be out of character for a little minute. Just go right in, throw a lot of punches, try to rough him up. Maybe he get lucky, maybe he gets something in. Hey, maybe he'll see that he can, still try to pull off some kind of upset. But as long as he stay outside Ruiz, he's going to get picked apart. He's going to get outgunned, outsmart, and he can't win.
There you go, that big right hand from Ruiz.
But that's what he got to do more often. And he seemed to get that shot in, which is the right hand. I like to see him put on left hook just to show that he can do it, because anything that comes to De La Hoya's way is going to help him one way or the other.
Sometimes you get lulled into admiring your own work. It seems De La Hoya is doing this in the last 2 rounds, maybe getting a little bit too sure of himself. But in boxing, B-Hop, one punch can change the entire fight. Now this is what he needs to do: stay active and continue to dominate and dictate the pace.
Stay active and not get bored, because when things seem to be too easy or dangerous, because one punch can put you down, can change the whole landscape of that round, how things go.
Down the home stretch of this fight. Round 9 about to come to an end, and this Golden Boy Boxing Series promises great action. Our next show will be on June 17th in Frisco, Texas at the Dallas Cowboys Star, with Pablo Cesar Cano, former interim world titleist, taking on Fidel Maldonado Jr. out of Albuquerque, New Mexico. And in our co-main event, Dallas' own Joshua Franco, an undefeated fighter, taking on Oscar Mojica. That'll be on ESPN2 at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Golden Boy Boxing on ESPN, Saturday, June 17th. The De La Hoya name, we've told you, it really carries a lot of weight in the sport of boxing, and how could it not? That's the cousins there. One of them, outside the ring, he's the promoter, Oscar De La Hoya, a boxing Hall of Famer, a world titleist in 6 different weight classes, and Diego De La Hoya, who wants to not only follow in the footsteps of his legendary cousin, but also forge his own way and prove that it's not just the last name that opens doors for him, it's his punching power, it's his skills that really break those doors down. As Eric Ruiz, as expected, B-Hop, is in round 10, because this is as tough as boxers come.
Tough and also schooling. This fight here is 10 rounds, and it was 10 rounds of schooling. on both ends, but more beneficial to De La Hoya.
You know, you talk about schooling. You mentioned the fact that De La Hoya is dominating the. That's
He's going to see the things that he should do and should have done. And that's what we all do. We go back and we reflect. And say, well, why ain't get this guy out of there? Why ain't do more of this? That's the learning process. And it's, look, he has one of the best coaches in boxing that will let him know that.
Joel Diaz in that red corner he landed a beautiful left hook on the chin of Ruiz, but boy, you see why neither one of these fighters have ever been knocked down. Ruiz has that desire. He's talked about his kids, how proving to them that no matter how tough things get, you can always get up and keep moving forward. He wanted to, mention his son Joel 10, Jacob 6, and Dominic age 2. And he's proving to them that through all adversity, you can persevere and keep your head high and put in an honest day's work.
And that's true. But I expect him the last round. You got to know that he's not winning this. He's just doing a couple of punches. But this is the time you're in shape, you train, you have all this motivation. You just mentioned it. Ruiz, go all the way out. There's no turning back. This is last round. Less than a minute. Go all the way out and try to maybe something happen while you got a minute. Put everything on the line right now.
Got to prove that he's more than a fighter that just goes the distance against legitimate contenders. He's got to prove that he is a fighter that comes to win. And I think that's the big difference so far in what we've seen from Ruiz. He's as tough as nails, but he just lacks that step to take forward.
Never been knocked down, never been knocked out. He's a tough guy.
Yeah. I mean, the streets of Oxnard have primed him to become a very tough guy with a ton of pride. But De La Hoya really has come out here and proven everything you mentioned throughout this. The fact that he is a legitimate.
On that notebook.
Yang 14-3